Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Flame Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, along with Kareem and Dean. There wasn't a whole ton of sports this week, but what happened was extremely important. One of such being the NBA Finals, finishing up with the Lakers taking it in 6 games. Kareem and Dean, why don't you go ahead and give us some of your opinions, starting with Kareem?
All right, for the Lakers, everything went well for them. Um, um, Everybody was contributing. Of course, Caldwell Pope actually had a great game. Um, of course, LeBron did what he did what he LeBron does in the playoffs and finals. Davis, he had a great game. Caruso, it's all the every guy on the team contributing. Um, Definitely goes a long way for the Lakers. Um, they've got vets like Anthony Davis and LeBron, and sorry, for the start of that game 6, it just was not going the Heat way. You could tell it was just not going to be good for them. They were going down big early, and the Lakers just kept pounding it on. The Heat at times looked like they had fight in them, but it didn't go their way at all. So Lakers take the NBA Finals in 6 games. I'm just sure that the players are happy to get back to their homes, and their families. Dean, if you have anything to say, your line's open. Yes, thank you. I think that the Lakers Game 6 win was a combination of different things. Um, the Lakers played an amazing game. The Heat, I think Jimmy Butler only had like 12, 14 points. Couldn't get a double double or a triple double. No one really played good for the Heat except for really at the end of the game. They had a good first quarter. Second quarter was one of the worst they played all season, all playoffs, and all regular season. Um, just the Lakers really were having fun, and that's what both and really what I think made the Heat kind of crash. I mean, the Lakers were up by like 38 at one point, and they only won the game by 13, probably just because of the cockiness. But it's good to have fun while you're playing the game. I mean, it's basketball, so that's what I think happened. I think it definitely was a combination of multiple occasions.
So yeah, I was kept tuning into the game because I wanted Miami to win, and every time I looked, it was 72-27. It was just the Lakers dominated that game, and congratulations to them on winning their 17th championship. And then also in the NBA, we've had some coaching changes with the Clippers firing Doc Rivers. Yeah, Kareem and Dean, why don't you go ahead and give us your opinions on that?
All right. So, of course, Lakers got rid of Doc Rivers for the Rockets. Mike D'Antoni stepped down, but Ty Lue signed with the Clippers. That's really it. I'm not really sure what else happened, but
Doc Rivers agreed to be the 76ers
oh,
coach.
76ers, my bad, I forgot about that. But Ty Lue signed to 5 years with the Clippers. Hopefully he gets in there by Paul George. Nothing's really happened. Stuff should be coming relatively soon.
Yeah.
It's always my favorite time of year, NBA offseason, because there's a lot of free agents that are so highly anticipated. Like last year when Kyrie, KD, all those guys were free agents. Kawhi, Paul George. So it was really fun just to wait and see what players decide to do, because there was quite a big free agency last year. So I'd like to see where Giannis goes. If Van Fleet wants to re-sign, Raptors if they want to extend Masai Ujiri's contract as the president of operations there. But yeah, it's been pretty fun to see all the coaching changes that have been made. Yeah, that's all I got. Do you guys have any word if the Rockets picked up a new coach?
I don't follow the NBA that much, but I haven't heard anything. Dean, have you? Uh, he has not. So, okay. That is going to be it for the NBA. On to the NFL Week 5. Um, a few just itty bitty notes I want to touch on. Tom Brady forgot it was fourth down. One of the funniest things of the year. That that
You
is
can't
gonna
count before.
go down as one of the funniest thing ever in Tom Brady's career.
You can't count before.
Mm-mm. So a lot of players in different sports and in football made some jokes about it. LeBron, Tom Brady actually tweeted out a picture of it, and it was LeBron's face photoshopped on um, with his for his fourth championship, and then Chase Claypool with his 4 touchdowns, he photoshopped his face onto Brady's body. People had a lot of fun with that, and you just love to see it. It's what make the players unique and fun to pay attention to. But uh, that was one of the smaller notes. Another thing I want to touch on is the Dolphins. My Dolphins, they did it. They demolished the 49ers 43-17. Absolutely dominant win by them. Heading into what we thought was going to be a game against the Broncos this week, which is now the Jets. It's still a win either way. But yeah, 43-17. Fitzpatrick with 350 yards, 3 TDs. Matt Breida is finally, he's finally showing some relevance with us against his former team. But that was it, and we'll touch on the Dolphins, not this game, but a little about just the organization a little bit later. The Raiders beat the Chiefs 40-32, and I think what the key to this game was that the Raiders and Derek Carr did not turn the ball over. Derek Carr did have one interception early on in the game, but that was it. I think that was the biggest key that John Gruden could go into Kansas City and beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I am gonna have to agree with everything Andrew said. It was a bit funny when I came home and I saw the Raiders were up 40-24. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I remember watching NFL the game day morning on NFL Network. And Greg Rosenthal, he said that the Raiders won't beat the Chiefs at all for like a decade or something whack like that. And it was kind of funny to see the Raiders up by how much they were. I kind of found it funny when the Chiefs had the touchdown near the end and the 2-point conversion. It was like, okay, they got some fun in them, but Josh Jacobs did what he needed to do. Henry Ruggs, of course. Derek Carr, I mean. Not much to say about it. It's kind of surprising. I think everybody was shocked. But yeah, Chiefs move on to 4-1. Raiders move on to 3-2. And yeah, that's a good division down there. But that's all I got to say. If Dean has anything to say about this one, I'm going to give the floor to him.
I can just say the exact same thing you said. The Raiders played an amazing game. Chiefs played all right. I definitely think some of it has to do with how poorly the Chiefs played. But I'm not trying to take any credit away from the Raiders. The Raiders definitely played an amazing game. Josh Jacobs had an amazing game. Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs played amazing. It was a good high scoring game.
Yeah, I think it wasn't how poorly the Chiefs played, because their offense did what they needed to do. They scored 32 points. Their defense just let them down. But
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs in his first game from injury, 59 yards per catch. Like, what? Like, 2 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown, I believe. But the Chargers and Saints, the Saints barely squeaked this one out. Okay, it was 30-27. Chargers had multiple chances to win that game. with the missed field goal by their kicker. But one point that you brought up to me, Kareem, during school one day was like, is Drew Brees showing his age? And since you were the one to bring this up, I'm gonna let you go first and answer this very hard question.
It is definitely a very tough question. Of course, the Saints did pull that game out in overtime. Um, I think the answer would be kind of yes. It's the Saints. Saints fans don't need to go into panic mode. Um, shaky start, but the Saints. Are they 3-2?
I believe so. Yes.
So no need to panic. But I would say there are some slight signs of age from Drew Brees. Not having Michael Thomas obviously plays a big part of the number one receiver out there.
Yeah, that does hurt them a little bit.
I mean, you predicted in the first show, Emmanuel Sanders, Super Bowl MVP. It's not panic mode time for the Saints fans, but it is a time where Drew Brees is starting to show some very frequent age.
A few things. I think the decline has definitely started. You saw it a little bit last year after the thumb injury, but I mean, like you said, not having Michael Thomas, arguably the best receiver in the league, does hurt you. Believe it or not, but he's not throwing the ball down the field. He's not. He's throwing these safe checkdowns to Alvin Kamara and Emmanuel Sanders. These cute little 5-yard slant routes every time, and they need to get back to 2018, 2019 Saints if they want to be competitive in that division. But and now a very sad note. I think you all know where this is going. Dak Prescott, man, that was hard to watch. It's brutal. It was just, I was sitting there, I was watching the game. It was a good game. I was having a good time. Dolphins were winning big. That day could not get any better. And then one of the most liked players in the league, his ankle just snapped. It bent the wrong way. It was really tough. And that's, obviously his health, his safety is more important than the Cowboys season. But you hope that he comes back stronger, better than ever, and ready to come back just like he was this year, next year, and continue to build on his already strong career. But he said that he was in the hospital and he felt great. So it's hard to watch. Kareem and Dean, if you want to add anything about it, I will let you do so, and then we will talk about the actual game, because that was actually a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main question here. Is Dak Prescott going to return like Dak Prescott of the past? Mobile quarterback who knows how to throw and run the ball. Injuries like these, they remind you of Alex Smith, who we will talk about later in the show, but it just reminds me of, Alex Smith, Joe Theismann. Injuries like that where just everything goes completely wrong. I don't see the defender in the fallout. He was making a legal tackle. It just ended the wrong way. It's very unfortunate. Obviously, Cowboys lose their starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Give some time to Andy Dalton, who actually didn't look that bad at the end of that game there. Nor did Michael Gallup, though, which we should talk about as well. Yeah. But, yeah, a horrible, horrid injury, horrific. Nobody wants to see something like that. Everybody has the best wishes for Dak and hopes for a swift and comfortable recovery.
It's hard to get back in a positive mindset after talking about something like that, but we're going to try our best here and talk about the rest of that game. 3 plays later, Andy Dalton comes into the game and hands the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott for a 12-yard touchdown. His celebration, he went up to the camera with the 4 fingers. It was true. It was cool to see, and and then defense. No defense was played in that game. Really, except for the pick six by Prescott earlier in the game, but literally none. Cowboys get the ball back with like 50 seconds left. Two insane catches by Michael Gallup. Kareem and I, we were texting each other. We were like, "Oh no, that's no way! That's insane! That's a catch!" It was a good time. Then Greg Zerline, with two game-winning field goals this so far in the season. It was gonna miss, and then it curved back in, which was pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it for that game. Obviously, big takeaway is Dak Prescott's injury. He will be out for the rest of the season. Yep, all the love out to Dak Prescott and his family. One more thing is, I thought that it was really cool to see Jason Garrett, the Giants coach, who was the Cowboys coach for so long, come out and see how Dak was doing that. That was really touching, I think. But we will talk about two more things about the NFL. First of all, Le'Veon Bell was released from the Jets Tuesday night, and it was down to three teams: the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. And obviously now we all know where he signed, but I want to talk about the three teams that he could have signed with. First of all, with the Bills, which I think was the least likely. The Bills were definitely interested in him. It was just they have Singletary, they have T.J. Yeldon. Their running back it's pretty filled out. So I don't think they really would have needed Le'Veon Bell. That would have definitely pushed them to a very likely Super Bowl contender. But obviously he did not go there. He was the first team out of the running between those three. And then second place team, the Miami Dolphins. I mean, as much as I wanted Le'Veon Bell because he would have made us a playoff contender in my eyes. I don't. He obviously didn't sign, but it's one of those things. It's where, it's like you take the talent, but you risk that locker room personality, because obviously, as we all know, Le'Veon Bell was not the greatest teammate. I mean, no offense towards him. I don't want to say anything wrong here, but I don't know if we wanted that type of personality in the locker room. Fitzpatrick would obviously have to come in and be like, "This is my team. This is not your team. I am the leader. You are second in command behind me." But that's all I wanted to say about the Dolphins. Would have made a push for the playoffs had we signed Le'Veon Bell. Kareem, you want to say something about the Dolphins and Le'Veon Bell?
Well, I think what you said was very debatable. The whole playoff.
I'll take it. I deserve it. I mean, I'm biased, so.
Of course you are, but I am too about the Browns. But I think what you said about the playoffs raises a red flag for a lot of people.
Now, I didn't say that they were gonna make the playoffs. I just said that we had a
You
shot.
said we had a heavy playoff contender.
I didn't say heavy playoff contender. I said we would have had a shot.
Now, no offense, I just can't see the Dolphins making a playoff run this year. I hate to say it, but I just think, yes, you brought in Byron Jones, but I still think teams are, besides the 49ers, some teams are just having field days running and passing the balls against you guys, running and passing the ball against you guys. So until a change is made, I don't think your running has been terrible, because obviously they're just not using Matt Breida to his highest.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that because I have some things to say about how we're using Matt Breida.
Yeah, I knew you wanted to talk about that. I mean, Matt Breida has never been a bad running back. He's always been good. He knows how to run the ball. He's not the fastest.
What do you mean? He had the two straight fastest ball carrier speeds in back-to-back years.
Really?
Yeah. It went Matt Breida in 2017, Breida in 18, and then Mostert in 19.
Really?
Yeah. Matt Breida got up to like 25 miles an hour. He is fast.
Didn't look like that.
Like I was saying, Matt Breida, he's just not being used correctly on the Dolphins, and I think if we were to sign Le'Veon Bell, I think we would have converted him to wide receiver, because I think, I don't know where they're getting this from, but it's almost like they think he's like Jordan Howard, who is another guy that we signed. He's not a guy to run halfback dives with. No, you don't hand the ball up the middle to him. You put him at slot wide receiver if you wanted to. You it's an outside run. It's a stretch. It's a pitch. It's a just anything to the outside, and he is so fast that he's gonna get separation no matter what you do. But I don't know. I'm not the coach, but now with the team that Le'Veon Bell did sign with, the Kansas City Chiefs, I said it as soon as I saw the report come from ESPN. They're winning the Super Bowl this year again. I mean, back-to-back years for the Chiefs, that would be really impressive. But I think they can definitely do it. They showed it last year. Now that they just add Le'Veon Bell, and they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who has not been great. He's not been what they've wanted him to be, but he's been good enough for the first 5 weeks. But yeah, you have to look at the Chiefs. Even before, and be like, this is a Super Bowl winning team, and they just got better. I mean, I can't blame Le'Veon Bell for signing with them. He doesn't have a Super Bowl yet, so if he goes, he knows he's gonna have a very high chance of getting one, and he very well might. So that's Le'Veon Bell to the Chiefs. Kareem, if you want to add anything, or Dean, feel free. I'm handing it off to you guys.
I'm just gonna say something really quick about it. The signing by the Kansas City Chiefs. Like you said, probably gonna win the Super Bowl this year. There's not many other teams that can do what they've done. But record-wise, that's not true, because the Browns 4-1, so the Chiefs. That's odd. Browns are as good as the Chiefs.
Okay, the Raiders got the Chiefs defense just did not show up on Sunday.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, imagine you're Le'Veon Bell, right? Most of your career was played with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing career with the Steelers. You leave, and then you go to the Jets.
You leave because of the money to the worst team in the league. Like, come on, and then
Jets. You go to the Jets, and now you're in Kansas City. Some would say everyone wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
But some would think that he would rather win than rather get better in a sense. Because if you're on a really good team...
No, I think Le'Veon Bell is a really good running back, obviously. Well, it's just he was thrown on the worst team in the Jets, and he was just getting tackled for loss every single time because the offensive linemen were like, here you go. Here's a wide open lane to the backfield every single play.
Yeah, but if I can think of any teams, like Joe Mixon with the Bengals, one of the worst teams in the NFL, he's still playing amazing.
I mean, the offensive line they've improved over the past few years with a couple of rookies, but it's not as bad as the Jets. I mean,
the Jets are pretty bad. Well, I mean, the Bengals went 1-15 last year.
Yeah, and the Jets went 2-14, but that was just because they had, Sam Darnold wasn't playing horrible like he has this year, but.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, you need a whole other podcast to talk about that guy. What a disappointment, honestly.
Him along with Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, yeah, Dwayne Haskins. But let me stay with the signing of Le'Veon.
Okay, yeah. Let's get back on track here.
So some people, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has to be happy. He can't be mad because a better running back came in. He's got to be happy because he has a mentor now.
Mm-hmm. Much like everyone says with like quarterbacks, with like Ryan Fitzpatrick
like
and Tua
Alex Smith.
Tagovailoa, it's a
Alex
whole
Smith,
mentorship.
and then also with the Browns, Case Keenum and Big. But Clyde Edwards, I think the signing is great for Kansas City. I mean, if you're going back to say maybe he could have signed with the Dolphins, I mean, they already have Jordan Howard and Matt Breida. So,
Except for the fact that they have been doing nothing this year.
Yeah, they have been doing
literally,
nothing.
I think Jordan Howard has like 12 carries this year, and they're like almost all on the 1 yard line. Like, what? Why is that a thing?
Yeah, I think in the last couple of games, Jordan Howard's averaged 15 yards per game. Scrimmage yards per game.
No, not even. I think he's averaging like 2 and a touchdown every single game. Like, I think his carry to touchdown ratio is like 15 to 5 or something. Not 5, but like 4 or something like that.
Yeah. Again, Le'Veon Bell, definitely is going to do some things out with that Kansas City offensive lineman. One of the best offensive linemen in the league, Mitchell Schwartz, in my opinion. He used to be Cleveland Brown. Wasn't the best there. He was pretty good there. Definitely wasn't on the Joe Thomas level. That's one of the best offensive linemen ever to play. Le'Veon Bell, he's going to do some things over in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. He just needed a better offensive line, and he was that. And he's set. But the last NFL moment that we want to talk about, it's amazing. It's awe-inspiring. It's inspirational. It's everything positive that you can ever say about a comeback story. It's Alex Smith, and back in 2018 when the injury happened, everyone thought he would never play again, and here he is back with the Washington football team, playing the second half for an injured Kyle Allen, and you look at the story that he had to go through. You look at everything, and there were several parts in that story where you go and you think to yourself, how did he not quit? And it's just he stuck with it. It's just truly amazing in the story that he has. If you haven't read the article, go read it. It is one of the best things I've ever seen. But Kareem, Dean, anything else you want to mention about Alex Smith?
Okay. I mean, back in 2018, same day, same team, Joe Theismann injury. He was that close to sadly passing away from this injury. This is top 5 worst injuries ever happened in the NFL. When you look at the Joe Theismann injury, the Zach Miller injury, it's crazy because all of these injuries revolve around
legs, and it's
legs.
Getting tackled, and
then you come to think about it, like how dangerous a game like football actually is.
Yeah, it's something you don't think about it until something like that happens.
It's like when you're riding a bike. It's just until you fall and smash your head when you're not wearing a helmet.
Yep, it's exactly like that. I could not think of a better way to put it.
It's until you.
Alright, yeah, truly amazing. His first snap back, 6-yard pass to J.D. McKissick. It's amazing. Go read the article. That's all I can say, and you will, and it is not a waste of time. I'll tell you that much. But on to the MLB, which has had some really great games so far in the League Championship Series. But first, I want to talk about the ALDS Game 5 between the Yankees and the Rays. Oh, that was not a fun game to watch at all. It was a matter of inches. If you go back and you watch Austin Meadows' home run, if there was no overhang in the right field wall, that Aaron Judge is probably gonna rob that. And it's just, I mean, obviously, you should probably know that if you're gonna be playing there for potentially up to 12 games, you should know that like what all's on the field and whatever. But if there's no overhang right there, that's the difference between the Yankees potentially winning that game and obviously what they did, which was lose. But neither offense could get anything going. 3 solo home runs, and as soon as Mike Brasso stepped up to the plate against Aroldis Chapman, I knew it was not going to be fun, because obviously they had that instant earlier in the season where Chapman threw at his head. He was not happy about that. But it's just, I was sitting there, I saw the home run. It was a horrible pitch by Chapman. Left it right down and in, right in the wheelhouse of almost any player, and he just hits it and he demolishes it, and it's just, I'm sure all of you have felt this pain of being eliminated on the playoffs. After fighting through a hard season, the ups and the downs. Obviously, the 16-6 start, then the 5-15 streak that we had. Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner said that Boone will be back next year. I mean, how much I like that opinion, it obviously doesn't matter, but I don't really think Boone knows how to handle a pitching staff very well, but I don't know. But, and now into the League Championship Series, which both could potentially end today, on Friday. We have the Rays over the Astros 3-2. Manuel Margot with the hero of Game 2 for the Rays with a diving catch over the sideline, over the wall in the right field foul territory, and then the 3-1 homer to put them up. They won that game 4-2. Good thing Kevin Cash started him that game. Yesterday, Thursday, first time ever in postseason history that one player for a single team led off the game with a home run, and then they hit a walk-off. Springer with the leadoff home run, and then Correa with the walk-off home run. So that's... I still don't see the Rays losing this series. I get it. They've lost 2 in a row now. They just need to lose 2 more in a row. But you have Blake Snell going tonight, a Cy Young winner, and then Tyler Glasnow, who has the nastiest curveball in all of baseball, you could say. But, if the Rays get out to an early lead, Glasnow will be in the game, I have to assume. And then, it's just gonna not be fun for the Astros hitter. And then I believe the Astros are starting Lance McCullers Jr., He obviously played really well in Game 1. He pitched 6 or 7 innings of 2 earned runs. And, oh no, it's Framber Valdez, not Lance McCullers. Framber Valdez did also play really well in Game 1. With 6 strikeouts. Now his defense let him down with Jose Altuve making that error. But 3-2 Rays. Game 6 is tonight. I see the Rays winning this game. They just got to get out to an early lead and let their bullpen do their thing. But and then over on the National League side of things, we have the Braves up 3-1. The Dodgers on brink of elimination. Game 1 went the Braves' way. They went up to a 2-0 lead in the series behind very solid starts from Max Fried and the exciting rookie Ian Anderson. And they won that game 5-1. Easy win. Well, it wasn't easy, but not so easy win, as I'm going to put it, because it was 1-1 heading into the 9th inning. Then they got a 4-run inning. Home runs from Ozzie Albies and Austin Riley helped them do that. Game 2, 8-7. The Dodgers almost came back. They were down 7-0 at one point. Answer back with 7 runs, but the Braves answer with one of their own, which is enough to put them in the win column. Game 3, the Dodgers, man. 15-3. Now, 4 of those runs should not have been scored because I have some. Makes me mad. I love the game of baseball, and this is the type of stuff that gets me mad. If you go back to look, Justin Turner's second at bat in the first inning, there was a curveball or something from Kyle Wright, and it came in. He moved his front foot out of the way. You're supposed to make an attempt to move out of the way, which he did. He saw the ball bouncing. d'Arnaud was gonna block it, and then he kicked it right in between d'Arnaud's legs. And at first, you're like, okay, maybe it just took a funny hop on the dirt. You're like, okay, at first maybe you think it's a hit by pitch, which is what d'Arnaud thought. And so they went to review, and then it was a hit by pitch, when in all actuality, it's an interference. He kicked the ball so that way d'Arnaud couldn't get it. That is clear and obvious. That should not have been a hit by pitch. It should have been an interference on Justin Turner. He should have been out. The inning should have been over. Granted, it wouldn't have mattered, but that's just the type of stuff that gets me mad. Dodgers with a historic first inning, 11 runs. Only should have been 7, because next batter, Max Muncy, hits a grand slam. But it's just, those are the type of things that get me mad. And then last night we had the Braves winning 10-2. Easy win. Actually, one thing from the Braves' 3 runs that is important is Christian Pache hit his first home run in the majors as a rookie this year. Very exciting outfielder for the Braves, hoping he can be, like Ronald Acuna Jr., just a guy that you can plug out there every day. He's gonna play really solid defense. He's really fast, but his first career home run. So congratulations, Christian Pache. And then yesterday they won 10-2, easy win behind Bryce Wilson. He pitched really well. 6 innings, 1 run, a ball from him, and then Clayton Kershaw went to Clayton Kershaw in the postseason. In the 6th inning, Dave Roberts had some confidence in him that he would be able to get through that 6th inning. Obviously, did not work. Home run by Ozuna in the 4th inning, which tied it at 1-1. So heading into the bottom of the 6th, it was 1-1. Then Marcell Ozuna again with a double. Freeman with a double for the lead. And it's just, he imploded like he always does. I mean, I hate to say it, but he always does. But the Braves win that one with ease. Now, tonight's game, like I said, potentially both series could be over. And I think they both will be over. The Braves are going with, their pitcher actually has not been come out yet, but the Dodgers are going with Dustin May, the flamethrower. Big, tall, he's a scary guy to face. And, I could see the Braves winning this game, but even if they do, it's 3-2. They have 2 games to win 1, and when you have Ian Anderson and Max Fried, I think that's some easy wins right there. So, if they do lose this game, potentially you could go Max Fried for 5 innings, Ian Anderson for 2 innings, Shane Green and Will Smith to close out the game. That is scary. Shane Green, he had like a 1.9 ERA heading into like the last few weeks of the regular season. Gave up a few runs, ballooned to 2.36. That's really good. Still really good for a reliever. And then Mark Melancon and Will Smith. Will Smith didn't have the greatest of season, but Mark Melancon did, however. So that's just a really scary bullpen to face right now. And I think they win that series. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and the Atlanta Braves, an all East Coast World Series. By the time next week when we record, it will have started, and some team will be will have some wins, and and the other will have some losses, obviously, and we'll see how it plays out. So that is going to do it for this week's episode of the New Flame Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you like the content, and stay tuned for next week's episode where we will be talking about the World Series, NFL Week 6, and we will see you next week.